Hello dear students, you are always welcome. Rahul English Study. Dear students and friends, ये लिटरेरी टर्म्स से संबंधित टीजीटी पीजीटी से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है जो कि टीजीटी पीजीटी एंड अदर एग्ज़ाम के लिए बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो समय को वेस्ट ना करते हुए शुरू करते हैं। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ब्रीफ वर्क ऑफ फिक्शन। Brief work of fiction, tone, short story, epic, allegory. What will be answer? So the answer will be, what will be answer? The answer will be short story. Brief work of fiction is called short story. Next question. The high point of interest or suspense. Stanza, resolution, climax, plot. What will be answer? The answer will be climax. The high point of interest or suspense is called climax. Next question is a poem. A poem that tells a story. Narrative poem, model, symbol, lyric. What will be answer? The answer will be narrative poem. A poem that tells a story is called narrative poem. Next question is a speaker or character who tells a story. A speaker or character who tells a story. Short story, narrator, clown, foil. What will be answer? So the answer will be narrator. A speaker or character who tells a story is called narrator. Next question number 5. Question number 5. A short speech delivered by an actor in a play expressing the character's thought. Narrative poem, epilogue, aside, prologue. What will be answer? A short speech delivered by an actor in a play expressing the character's thoughts. What will be answer? Narrative poem, epilogue, aside, prologue. What will be answer? The answer will be aside. Next question is poetry that utilizes the techniques of drama, irony, pathetic fallacy, lyric, dramatic poetry. What will be answer? So the answer will be, what will be answer? So the answer will be dramatic poetry. Answer will be dramatic poetry. Poetry that utilizes the techniques of drama is called dramatic poetry. Next question है, अगला प्रश्न है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, द डिस्क्रिप्टिव और फिगरेटिव लैंग्वेज used in literature to create word picture for the reader. Metaphor, sensory language, simile, imaginary. What will be answer? So the answer is imaginary. The answer will be imaginary. The descriptive of figurative language used in literature to create word picture for the reader. The answer will be imaginary. Next question. Next question is lesson taught. Lesson taught by a literary work. Lesson taught by a literary work. Narrator, aside, soliloquy, moral. What will be answer? The answer will be moral. Lesson taught by a literary work is called moral. Next question. Next question. A brief story about an interesting, amusing, or strange event. A brief story about an interesting, amusing, or strange event. Moral, mime, anecdote, tone. What will be answer? The answer will be anecdote. A brief story about an interesting, amusing, or strange event is called anecdote. Next question. Next question is a literary work is the writer's attitude towards his her audience and subject. Tone, pitch, accent, intonation. So what will be answer? What will be answer? Tone. A literary work is the writer's attitude towards his her audience and subject is called tone. Next question. Next question is anything that stands for or represents something else. Genre, plot, symbol, figure. What will be answer? What will be answer? The answer will be symbol. Anything that stands for a or represents something else is called symbol. Next question. Next question. Question number 12. 3 lines verse from. 3 lines वर्स फॉर्म. यहाँ फॉर्म है. वर्स फॉर्म. वर्स फॉर्म. 3 lines वर्स फॉर्म. हाइकू, ओटावा रिमा, सोलिलोक्यू, एसाइड टेरसिट. एसाइड टेरसिट. एसाइड टेरसिट. What will be answer? So the answer will be 3 lines verse form is called haiku. Next question. Next question is reason. Reason. Question number 13. Reason that explains or partially explains why our character thinks, feels, acts, behaves in a certain way. What will be answer? Persuasion, motivation, aside, haiku. What will be answer? The answer will be motivation. Reason that explains a partially explains or partially explains why our character thinks, feels, acts or behaves in a certain way is called motivation. Next question. A writing or speech that attempts to convince the reader to adopt a particular particular opinion or curse or of action. Imaginary, irony, persuasion, motivation. What will be answer? A writing or speech that attempts to convince the reader to adopt a particular opinion, or course of action is called persuasion. Next question. Formal division. Formal division of lines in a poem. Formal division of lines in a poem: couplet, paragraph, stanza, sestet. What will be answer? The answer will be stanza. Formal division of line is in a poem stanza. Next, struggle between opposing force. Struggle between opposing force: plot, conflict, suspense, foreshadowing. What will be answer? Answer will be conflict. Struggle between opposing force, conflict. Next question. A short pithy instructive saying is. A short pithy instructive saying is aphorism, proverb, all of this. What will be answer? Answer will be aphorism. Next question. An original model on which something is patterned is known as paradigm, archetype, caricature, none of these. What will be answer? The answer will be archetype. A original model on which something is patterned is known as archetype. Next question is on screen, on your screen. A representation of a person that is exaggerated for comic effect: cartoon, flat character, caricature, round character. What will be answer? The answer will be a representation of a person that is exaggerated for comic effect is round character. Answer will be round character. Next question. In Italian sonnet, the problem is resolved. In Italian sonnet, the problem is resolved in octave, sestet, both A and B. None of these. What will be answer? So the answer will be sestet. Next question is a brief speech. A brief speech not heard by the other actors on stages. A brief speech not heard by the other actors on stages: an aside, a soliloquy, a prologue, a dialogue. What will be answer? An aside. The answer will be an aside. A brief speech not heard by the other actors on stage is an aside. Next question. A caesura. A caesura is a traditional form of Roman literature, metaphoric compound word used in Old English poetry. C is pause marking rhythmic point of division in a line of poetry. Next, use of gods as allegorical figure. What will be answer? The answer will be the answer will be pause marking a rhythmic point of division in a line of poetry. Caesura is a pause marking a rhythmic point of division in a line of poetry. Next question. Next question is a pause marking a rhythmic point of division in a line of poetry is an iamb, a foot, a caesura, a caning. What will be answer? The answer will be a caesura, a pause marking a rhythmic point of division in a line of poetry is caesura. Is a caesura. Next question. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है अगला. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज एन एलिगरी इज द रेपिटेशन ऑफ द इनिशियल साउंड ऑफ द वर्ड्स इन ए लाइन ऑफ ए पोट्री. नेक्स्ट a pause marking a rhythmic point of division in a line of poetry. Next, a story with a double meaning. Next is the intervention of a nature of the supernatural in a story. What will be answer? An allegory is a story with a double meaning. Next question. Next question is a story with a double meaning is called an allegory, a simile, a hyperbole, a metaphor. What will be answer? The answer will be an allegory. A story with a double meaning is called an allegory. Next question. Alliteration is the rhyming of words within a line of poetry, comparison of two unlike things, using like or as. Next, use of words. यहाँ use of word to imitate the sound it describe. Next point is repetition of the initial. Usually consonant sound in a series of words. What will be answer? The answer will be, what will be answer? The answer will be repetition of the initial, usually consonant sounds in a series of words. It is correct answer. Answer is D. Next question. The repetition of the initial, usually consonant sound in a series of words is. क्वेश्चन उसी को रिपीट कर दिया, घुमा के पूछ दिया है. The repetition of initial, usually consonant sound in a series of words is simile, onomatopoeia, alliteration, internal rhyme. So what will be answer? The answer will be alliteration. Next question. Next question. Chanson geste. Chanson geste refers to, या कैंसन पढ़िएगा, कैंसन भी पढ़ सकते हैं. कैंसन geste refers to a popular form of vernacular literature during medieval times. next है an epic about war among Norman gods. Next, a miracle play set in a Paris. Next है a trouble. Next है a troubadour from France. What will be answer? The answer will be Chanson. Chanson geste refers to a popular form of vernacular literature during medieval times. Question is, answer will be A. Next question. A popular form of vernacular literature during medieval times was. What will be answer? An iambic, a chanson geste, a caesura, a canings. What will be answer? The answer will be a chanson geste. Next question and last question. Next question or last question. Dramatic irony occurs when? Dramatic irony occurs when the speaker says one thing but there is a different meaning to the statement. Next, the reader knows something which the character in the story does not know. Next, the expected result of a situation is much different than the actual result. The option is something is a sad, something is sad, something is sad but nothing is done. What will be answer? So the answer will be, what will be answer? The answer will be the reader. The answer will be the reader knows something which the character in the story does not know. Answer will be option B. Dramatic irony occurs when the reader knows something which the character in the story does not know. So dear students, और फ्रेंड्स, तो ये 30 क्वेश्चन से लिटरेरी टर्म से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन थे जिनको डिस्कस किया। तो वीडियो अगर आपको अच्छी लगी हो तो वीडियो को लाइक करिएगा और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो।